can both play at this game. So,
Video
1.
explain.
Good evening. How's it going?
Hey,
Hey, Bowie. Good?
welcome to another episode of Video Explain, our second video episode.
Oh, man, I never thought we'd get here. I honestly didn't.
Yeah,
I mean, the reaction to that first one's been amazing, especially from the record company that owns Smash Mouth's music. They were really interested in what we were doing. Um,
yeah,
I've still going through some legal processes over that, but it's going to be worth it because the views are just staggering. If we can get some of that royalty money, I'm
yeah.
not sure. I think you have to get over 100 views before you become a millionaire. I'm not sure how that works, but we're not there
Yeah.
yet, you know.
I'm
Um,
glad you've grown your hair out
yeah, well, I
for
had to
this
because
episode.
well, I used to be bald and I went to Advanced Hair Studios. Shane Warne, God rest his soul, was a big fan of Advanced Hair Studios.
So
Um,
yeah, so was that all transplanted from your ass hair?
yeah. Well, that's right. It's it's a transgender thing. I mean, you're using hair from the opposite sex because it turns out that everyone's bisexual, and sometimes like male pattern baldness. Uh, there's not many women. There are a few, but not many women with female pattern baldness. You see what I mean? So they put
Mm.
that female hair into the top of a man's head, and before you know it, I'm just I don't know what I am now. I identify as a carpet, as a
I bought
box.
a beanie and it covered up my male pattern baldness.
Yeah, no, I've noticed that. I mean, that's probably the cheaper option. I mean, I never actually went with Advanced Hair Studios in the end. I called them, and then they just stopped. They just kept calling me over and over. They even got Shane Warne on the phone, going, "What's going on?" And he goes, "What's going on,
Yeah,
Bowden? Don't you fucking want a rug on your head?"
that's pretty
Um,
good because he's dead.
oh well, that's right. And does anyone get his hair? I mean, what happens to that? It's a waste. I mean, not just his cricketing ability, but that head of hair he had. I mean, it's sad. We shouldn't
Yeah,
even discuss it. You know what I mean? Because the legacy wasn't just bowling; it was also humanitarian. What he wouldn't do for people in Turak, especially, gave to the kids there. The orphan children of Turak. He'd
gave a
give
lot of
them.
money to coke dealers,
Yeah, well,
which
that's
is
right.
good for the cash economy.
Yeah, that's right. And he was also a big promoter of slip, slop, slap, that kind of thing. Just slapping people, slapping on a bit of racism, maybe. But he grew to
Yeah,
love the towelheads over there in India. He thought they were amazingly gracious. With the amount of money that they could give him, just
he
to
wouldn't eat their food though. Like you'd always take a can of baked beans.
oh well, yeah. I mean, you can take Warney out of wherever he was born. I mean, I think he was born in Warracknell, Warracknell, in Ipswich, I think. But you take him to bloody Baghdad or wherever the capital of India is, and suddenly, yeah, I mean, yeah, no, he couldn't tolerate the curries. He tried to. I mean, he had to sometimes just for press, to make it sound like he was one of them, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Just for PR and stuff. But he had to go and vomit and messed up his hair even, getting bits of fucking curry in his hair. But no, that's right. Tin of baked beans for Barnesy. Sorry, I mean for Warney, I should say. Because he was a humble guy at the end of the day. I mean, when he used to screw that actress, can't remember her name, Jane Turner, I think, from Kath and Kim, I'm pretty sure, living in a mansion with her.
Oh, okay, yeah, I saw it at an opening.
Yeah, well, a lot of people saw her
She
opening
looked
back
very
then.
serious.
Yeah, well, Yahoo Serious was there as well. Everyone wondered what happened to him after some of his, when he had that film called Yahoo Einstein, and then Crocodile Einstein. It was also
Yeah,
another film he did. Slip, Slop, Slap, actually, he did another one. It's just a joke about skin cancer, made into a 90-minute film. But yeah, no, Yahoo Serious was there. Jane Turner was there. And then, then Barnesy, Warney turns up just eating baked beans out of his bloody, his pocket. Yeah,
yeah.
in his shirt pocket, he was just had a little bit of beans there. He was just sort of tucking into.
Boy, he could
Um,
fart.
well,
Like
he was allowed
I
to
don't want to take this
take the
show to the
shine.
extent of farting, but
No,
Shane, he was a master farter.
Yeah, no, well, that's a real anecdote. I mean, that's the thing. We don't normally, as you say, descend into this kind of thing of talking about anuses and shit. But
Mm.
with Barnsley, I mean, Warney, I mean, it's basically, it was part of the territory. When you let one rip, it was just kind of, yeah, $1,000,000. That's
So
what,
watch out, boys.
well, yeah, watch out, man. If you don't eat your beans, then you'll end up like Warney, I reckon,
Yeah,
which is dead and with a good head of hair from that, what's it called again? The strand by strand method, which,
yeah.
yeah. And I don't know if your hair grows after you die. I think your fingernails do, but it's useless now anyway. Sorry about that. Sorry to the family of the Warner estate. Obviously, money doesn't, take away the injury that we've caused you tonight. So all we can do as a condolence is say to you that we love you, we love Barnsey and Warney and farting and baked beans and cricket. And
Yeah, all
we
the Australian things that are good.
yeah, well, all the things that are good are Australian. That's what I mean, that's what we are. We're patriots, really. So Video Explain, episode 2 in this format where we are live. I'm at, as you can see, on the beaches. I'm actually on the other side of the world at the moment, trying to escape the Dan Andrews communist government. And I've gone
Yeah,
over to Hawaii, where everything over here is just tickety boo.
looks great, man. I hope you slip, slop, slapping in that environment.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the first day out in the sun, really. I've been kind of, to be honest, I'm getting over heroin addiction in my hotel room. It hasn't been pretty. I mean, you've seen Train Spotting. It was like that a bit. Well, it's more like Sex in the City too, if you've seen that film. But tonight, you chose this video. I had no idea why until I looked at it in high definition, and then I understood.
Yeah,
And do you want
yeah.
to
Well,
tell me?
it's David Bowie. I'm Afraid of Americans,
Hmm,
which came out in 1997.
right.
So it's quite old now. It's like 25 years old.
Yeah.
But I just think it's a groovy tune.
Yeah.
And I like the film clip.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, like he's all paranoid, like he's just smoked a number, a cigarette with funny stuff in it. And he's walking around. And
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails is following him.
Right. Is that who it was?
Yeah.
No, I knew. I'm only playing. You'd spot that prick a mile away. You'd spot him a mile away. I mean, he's no Jeff Johnson, or so what's that name? Jack Johnson or whatever. He's not as
You're saying you've got a
intense.
bit of a bio on Bowie.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, I did a bit of research, but I mean, I thought, well, because you've read all these books, David Bowie's,
Yeah.
I mean, he wrote the Encyclopedia Britannica, for example.
Mm.
I mean, because of digital
A
now,
lot
of
of people
course.
don't know that David Bowie actually had two penises.
Yeah, well, one was a tumor, which he called Frank, and the other one was a penis, which he called
Yeah.
my penis, which was weird.
But
But
when he
yeah,
go limp, the tumor
yeah,
would fill in
yeah, that's
during
right. Well,
sex.
yeah, well, when he was unconscious, or say he was coked out of his wazoo, his penis would fill in for it. Occasionally, it actually kept him, well, there's a few periods of time where that was the only thing that worked. I mean, he couldn't write music or do anything, but his main penis, not Frank the tumor, but the main actual real penis that he was born with, just it was kept upright. People came over to parties. Bowie's unconscious, but his wang was just still there. It stand to attention. People would hop on it, go for a ride, spin around,
Yeah.
chat to his little helmet and say, "God, I love Space Odyssey."
Frank Sinatra once sang into his penis, famously.
Yeah, that's right. Well, he thought it was one of those old valve microphones or whatever it was, and he said the timbre. I mean, he said it really helped his voice. But that may have been the after effects of the semen going down his throat, which is quite well, not controversial, but just maybe a bit upsetting for some people to consider. I mean, there's nutrition in it, but also apparently it soothes the throat. Bon Jovi's well known for drinking his own spoof. He's had throat cancer and so on, and if he
Same with
ran dry,
John Cougar Mellencamp.
yeah,
He's a cum
well,
drinker.
Yeah, well, it's not a. I mean, it's not something they advertise a lot, you know. But yeah, I mean, if Jovi ran out of gas or whatever, then Sam Borrow or one of the dickheads that plays with him for $500 a week, you know, would give a couple of quid to him and spoof in his mouth or whatever, just to gargle it. Sometimes wouldn't always swallow, but just to get the a bit of a treacle down the old windpipes, and
Mm.
before you know it, living on a prayer. I mean, it's like he's 18 again, albeit for a few minutes until it dries up and then he's fucked. But you got to do what you got to do, because when you're a singer, I mean, what have you got if you can't sing? You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
um, but
it's like
yeah.
meatloaf.
Oh shit, yeah.
Literally would combine cum and meatloaf in a
Yeah,
blender
yeah.
before he sang. Unfortunately, there was no cum available when he did the AFL
No,
grand
that's right.
final,
No,
so
he's a bit
his
under the
voice,
weather.
he couldn't sing properly.
Well, yeah, I mean, he couldn't hear himself above all these, moronic football fans for a start. He was asked to shoot out T-shirts from a hot dog. I mean, no one made any sense of that. He had the Ebola virus as well, and as you say, he didn't have. Well, I mean, he was just going through a bad period of time at that point where he could not get it up. He couldn't shoot the old man's spleen all over the place. And
Yeah,
not into his throat either. He asked people desperately just before I mean, you imagine going up to a bloody, Geelong fan or whatever and saying, "Can you come in my mouth so I can just get through bat out of hell?" Um, I mean, you want to cut to the action, wouldn't you? I mean, he's getting paid what, $1 million to basically take a shit on people, and now he's
yeah,
dead. And I don't. I mean, he had a lot of issues at that point, and look, he delivered. Like he got up. I mean, okay, you got to pay $1 million to do it for 20 minutes work, but Jesus, he got up and did it. You know what I mean? Even though he wasn't feeling good. Um,
yeah,
and I mean, who should be embarrassed here? The AFL? Should Meatloaf be embarrassed? Well, he's fucking dead. He doesn't give a shit anymore. And he didn't then either. At the end of the day, he's just, he was a trooper. Now he's just a corpse. But I reckon loaf and meat together, put a bit of
mm,
spoof on it, and that's his career. Magic. So yeah, no, I did do a bit of research here for David Bowie. This is just
yeah.
what I got from Wikipedia. Just quickly before we go into the clip, if I can indulge here.
Mhm.
David Bowie was born in. Sorry.
Ah!
Oh shit! Jesus Christ! You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just calm your farm, mate. David Bowie was born in 1979, and his name at birth was Arthur Lee Allen. His debut album of Baroque pop was entitled "This Is Me," and it was released in 1963, 16 years before his birth, and contained such songs as "Colin the Fruiter," "Give Me Your Jacket," "She's Got a Labia," and the chart-failing single "I'll Love You for 5 Minutes Next Tuesday." It wasn't until 1969 and the release of his magnum opus 2001 A Space Odyssey that Bowie saw his career accelerate into the ether. With the infamous lyrics, "I feel the need for speed," that has been sung by countless astronauts orbiting the Earth with sweet fuck all to do. Bowie was renowned for his ability to transform into different physical forms, such as an aardvark and a bag of cocaine, in order to demonstrate that he could not be stuck in a hole usually reserved for pigeons. With a never-ending thirst for blood and Grace Jones' nipples, Bowie constantly changed his nappies between each and every album. It wasn't until 1997 that Bowie, now in his late teens, released the album Little Earthquakes, from which he released several singles, including 7 Years at Brad Pitt's House, Telling Porkies, and the song Tonight I'm Afraid of, what's it called? The song Tonight I'm Afraid of Trent Reznor. The song itself was remixed by Reznor, who commented to Bowie when they were indulging in a friendly game of laser tag in London that the album version sucked balls, and that he felt given a couple of hours screwing around on Acid Pro, he could knock it into some kind of barely listenable state. Bowie, who is appreciative of Reznor's frank appraisal, suggested Reznor also add his trademark heavily distorted bagpipes on the track, and was pleasantly surprised when Bowie, a few weeks later, received a CD shoved through his cat flap to discover that the song now sounded remarkably like an outtake from the Downward Spiral. Over the phone, Bowie discussed his concept for the video clip with Reznor, while Reznor at the time was busy contemplating suicide. Bowie said he wanted Reznor to shoot him in the face after chasing him around New York with a ridiculously oversized dildo and then making his corpse dance in the street alongside a cardboard cutout of Mick Jagger, while people riot in the background because of a Pepsi shortage in the city. Reznor proposed that he would be a deranged, instead, he proposed he would be a deranged Uber driver high on bath salts, and that Bowie would act as if he was Sting looking for the United Nations. And at the climax of the video, Reznor would cut off Bowie's head and fuck it. Eventually, they settled on making the video accessible to children interested in feelings of alienation and fear of foreigners, and later the song became the unofficial theme song for Trump's presidential campaign. It's ranked 23rd in Bowie's best songs, with #1 reserved for his most revered song, of course, being Dancing in the Streets. The first verse, to I'm Afraid of Death Taxes, and this is the actual lyrics to the song, Johnny's in America, no tax at the wheel, no one needs anyone, they don't even just pretend, Johnny's in America. That's the first verse. And that's all I got so far. What do you think of that, though? The lyrics are good.
Yeah, that was mind blowing. I'm still like taking it all in, Adam, but like,
yeah, I researched
it. Yeah, what a genius.
Yeah, we'll just go over the lyrics again. Johnny's in America, no tax at the wheel. I mean, just that alone. I mean, that's up there with, Kurt Cobain saying, I miss the comfort of being sad. And then this next line is what gets me. And he repeats it later too, because he hadn't emphasized enough. And then the next one, no one needs anyone. They don't even just pretend. And then repeats that phrase, not like a seal or a penguin or whatever, but it's similar, And then Johnny's in America. I mean, that's it. And then it goes into the main chorus, I'm afraid of death taxes, or, I'm afraid of Trent Reznor. I'm afraid of Americans. It speaks volumes, though. It is lyrically one of his more complex songs. And the video itself,
those Americans are crazy.
Yeah, they really are, and stupid. All of them, every fucking one of them is stupid and crazy. I've met a few, and I'm afraid of them for sure. Donald Trump, of course. I mean, is he American? Well, apparently. I mean, what a terrifying man. He still haunts people to this day. In fact, there isn't. It's hard to believe there's actually a new government in power, because still the echoes of the tiki-bearing hermaphrodite racist Nazis that threatened to take over democracy, and luckily, that they were thwarted by using, I don't know, whatever they use, harsh language or whatever it was, and democracy has been returned. That's why everyone's so stonkingly happy at this point. Inflation is up, cost of living is up, wages are down. It's amazing. We've got war in Ukraine, monkeypox is coming. There's so many reasons to celebrate. But just if Trump, if he never existed, it was a utopia up until then. And I think, that's what this song, I'm afraid of Americans tax, it gets into that sort of zeitgeist. Obviously, Bowie, I mean, he was
ahead of his time.
He was ahead of his own head. I mean, that was, he couldn't even keep up with himself. That was the thing. And he was always changing direction all the time. I mean, there's that band One Direction, for example. If Bowie was in that band, they wouldn't just be doing that. It wouldn't just be One Direction. Well, it would be a One Direction for a little while, and then he just, put on some white pants and go, I'm the thin white Duke, or whatever it is, do a little dance and stuff, then get Tin Machine in there, whatever the hell that was, just use Burroughs mixing up words and shit, get Trent Reznor in, which is, what happened here. I mean, this song is really, a love affair between Bowie and Reznor. I think we should have a look at the video clip, I guess, because
check it on. See if we can get taken off the internet again.
Yeah, man. Well, how are we going to get rich from this shit if we don't, if we keep getting copyright infringements. It's fair use. I mean, it's not like we're asking for much here. We just want, like $1 a view or whatever for using someone else's heavily copyrighted material.
We just want to be able to get a 6-pack of VB.
Well, that would be a start, go back to our Tasmanian roots, 6-pack of that stinky pale ale, the good old stuff, I don't know, man. But here it is, okay? So let's just see what's going on here. All right, so you've seen this video, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what'd you make of it?
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, yeah. What'd you like about it?
Just it's so cinematographic.
Yeah,
cinematographic.
You took the words right out of my rectum. Cinematographic.
It's like the 90s meets Taxi Driver.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And what's that other? There's an other film about alienation, Forrest Gump, as well.
Yeah,
which actually was in that same period of time. I think the 90s.
I hate that film.
Yeah, a lot of people did. It was an incredibly unpopular film, but it's.
Do you know that Forrest Gump isn't real? Once I found that out, I found the whole movie like ridiculous.
I found life ridiculous until, what? The meeting's going to end in 10 minutes. We better hurry.
Yeah.
The meeting's going to end. Jesus Christ, we've been talking that long. Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. So, okay, we're running out of time. That's great. Upgrade. I'm going to pay money to Zoom. So basically it starts off tracking shot. But Bowie is standing there looking at his watch, maybe asking how to get out of New York. Looking very suave.
Asking who he is.
No, he's just looking at the newspaper. And then he sees Travis Bickle is staring at him unnervingly, and he's going, "Where's the nearest taxi to get out of here?" And but Travis keeps coming for him, or whatever it is, or Trent.
Yeah.
And he's hunting him down. He's saying, I want the rights to Hunky Dory. I'm going to write all over it. And of course,
Bowie's got an amazing corduroy sweater thing happening there.
Oh, look, it's what's that cricket player? Oh, he's dead too now. That other guy, not Warney, but the other guy, Andy Pandy or whatever his name was with the dreads. He gets frustrated here because Trent kind of gives up because Bowie's found an apartment that belongs to one of his good friends, which is Miles Davis, but Miles isn't in. He's gone off with his girlfriend to get some more coke, so he's hoping that he's lost the scent, or at least no. Who's that? There's It's
Tony Blair getting a head job.
Oh yeah, it's Tony Blair. Cameo there from Tony, of course, bit of an allusion back to the homeland. And then someone shoots a police officer with a finger, but it's just mimed or whatever it is. Then there's, I didn't see all this before. I've really got to, he's seeing Americans shooting each other a lot with fingers. And then Trent's coming back and wanting to put the entire album through one of his distortion units. And Bowie's saying, no, come on, I'm going to go acoustic on this one. And then so he jumps into a cab, hoping to get to the airport so he can go back to his English lifestyle. Then Marlon Brando threatens to shoot him. I didn't realize all these people were in here. That's
they're all like going like, bam.
Yeah.
Oh, Bowie.
Yeah.
We're going to shoot you.
I see that, both the persecutor and the oppressed, being Bowie, they both got goatees. So there's a similarity. I mean, he's afraid. It should be called "I'm afraid of goatees." Because I am from watching this. And look, he gets
in the cab. Trent Reznor's driving my career.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, exactly. He goes, "What? I'm going to take you back to make another Tin Machine album." But Bowie's saying, "No, I can't go back to the past." And he was going, "No.
Yeah. Please make me call Trent Reznor."
Yeah. No, he goes, the only way is forward. Then there's Reznor saying, stick a knife in me. He really is filled with, he's actually shooting him. I can't see, but he's shooting his own taxi, which is weird, but Bowie's not in it. So maybe he's giving up being a taxi driver. I don't understand what's going on. He's kidnapped David Bowie, let him get out of the cab, and then shot his own cab with bullets, but not Bowie. So
Yeah.
maybe this is how they became friends or something. I don't know what's going on here. Shadow puppetry. Ah, there we go. It's what's his name from Ministry, Boris Johnson. It's the whole gang from Slipknot has come in.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, that's a crucifix.
That's Reznor's
That's
wet dream. I mean, he's always suffered a lot, hurt. I mean, take that seriously. Now he's carrying a cross. His son's playing a Jesuit priest. Slipknot's in there. I think Ben Stiller's always in one of these. I mean, Ben Stiller's always in David Bowie's videos. And is this the end of it?
I think it's coming up to the end. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that it made more sense the first time I watched it. I realized now I must have been watching The Man Who Fell to Earth, not this one. Now this is
that goes for 2 hours. So
yeah, I did nod off after a few minutes, but no, it's strange. I mean, Reznor's in it, Bowie's in it. I get that, but I don't get the narrative, the story. Americans are shooting themselves in the head. Bowie's going crazy. All he wants is probably a quick blowy and back to London. Nice cup of tea, hang out with Sting or whatever he wants to do. And then Reznor kidnaps him, then lets him out, then shoots his own cab, and then a bunch of, I don't know, deities from Mexican Festival of the Dead take Reznor, who's got a cross over his back, which is probably Johnny Cash's version of Hurt, and Bowie just disappears. I give this video 10 out of 10 for its visual flair, and 3 out of 10 for making any sense whatsoever. So
I give it 3 out of 5. It's like a nice ham sandwich.
Yeah, you press it together and
press it together. You feel the meat and the cheese in your mouth.
Yeah,
and you're okay for a few hours till the next snack.
You're okay all the time to me, man. I'm going to stop sharing this video now so we come back for the final goodbyes. Muggles Chicken, by the way, proudly presents this amazing experience. And who needs a ham sandwich when you can have a freaking Muggle sandwich?
Try the Muggles family box.
Yeah.
It smells of death.
Well, it's fresh chicken. Well, it was once fresh chicken left out in the sun. It's basically sun-dried chicken, which is an amazing thing. You have sun-dried tomatoes with sun-dried chicken. Absolutely. Well, it'll make you quite sick, but the flavor's spot on. It's amazing.
Perfect for a 4-degree day in Melbourne picnic.
Yeah, it's perfect for, I mean, priests love it. Catholic priests adore Muggles Chicken. We've got a sponsorship through the Catholic Church. When you're not, doing God's work or, not doing God's work, I guess, you've got to have time out. You've got to eat. I mean, God doesn't give you everything, you do need a bit of sustenance, not just a young boy's ass. You need
but thank
Muggles
God
Chicken.
He invented the microwave.
Yeah, well, he did. And well, this is why, we should have things exactly the way they are now, because it couldn't get any better. I mean, once the microwave was invented, people just went, well, this is it. I can cook my whole dinner in 30 seconds. You put raw Muggles Chicken in there, 30 seconds in the microwave on high, then you've got a roast meal or whatever it is. Beautiful. Give me convenience, give me death, But, I was disappointed in that song. I was disappointed, really disappointed.
Yeah. I'm disappointed myself for choosing it,
Yeah, and I'm pretty disappointed in you too, man, because it was interesting. It was interesting because, you got Bowie, Reznor there together, bit of an amalgam, shades of Tin Machine, shades of The Who, Requiem for a Dream, like you say, Taxi Driver as well. It's all a melange that a souffle that deflated for me, I would say. So yeah,
I
no,
saw it as a curiosity item, you know?
yeah,
Like,
no, it is.
this is Bowie in 97, you know?
Yeah. Well, God bless him. God rest his soul, because he did go on to do some even more amazing things. You know, so you know his duet with Will I Am from the Black Eyed Peas was incredible. Piss Stains. There's so many different things, but he never rested until he was dead. That's what we can say for sure.
Yeah.
Which is how it all should be for all of us. And we don't rest, because as soon as this one's done, we're going to be doing another one. We're going to pump out content. We've got 50 seconds, Dan, my man, to say what? Anything?
Just bravo to you, brother.
Yeah, man.
And your new look.
Thanks, man.
I'm really digging it.
I'm digging you, man. I've always dug you. I've dug a grave for you. If ever you do pass away before me, you're going in it, and God knows I'll look after it. I'll look after you. So bless you. Video explained.
Peace.
Never been better.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Keep on rocking. I'm afraid. Trent Reznor. How do I end this? How does it end?
Video explain.